The rule was, if you're playing lower grades, 21's a reserve grade, you can't leave the ground and you can't crack a beer until the first grade captain does. And that day, I put the civvies on, went straight out of there, and I'm actually on the hill, and I'm actually onto my second beer, and I get the call that I'm needed in the dressing room, and I thought, well, they've caught me having a beer. So I walked around there, and they said, no, there's one of the blokes in the warm-up's a bit dicey. We need you to sit on the bench. So it's probably not the ideal preparation, I'd say, going in. And
it sounds very much like your preparation.
It does. But then there was an injury, and they said, wait, warm up. And then I'm on the sideline. My job, I was to replace Robbie McCormack at hooker. But as I'm standing on the sideline, Ray, I think it was Kevin Iro ran, and he hit Tony Kempy's countryman, and Kempy's dislocated his shoulder, and the trainer's standing there, and they're attacking our line, so he just threw me on. So he threw me on left centre.
Matthew Johns is the replacement player on for Tony Kemp.
You lost.
We did.
And I think the coach shouldered much of the blame for some reason on you, the young rookie.
Johns puts the little grubber in behind Hancock.
Well, it was funny, right, because in the game, I don't remember a lot of the game. All I remember is just because your adrenaline is just pouring through you, and you're just tackling everything that moves. But they beat us 14-12, and I sort of helped my Dukes up. You know, I felt, you know, pretty good. It was TV games, so, you know, all my mates would have been watching at Cessnock and whatnot, so I was chuffed. And I walked into the sheds, and Wadey went, Matthew. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get a rap here. He goes, well done, you just cost us that game. And I was like, what? He said, mate, what position did I tell you to go on at? And I said, hooker. He said, well, why would you go on at centre then? And I looked at the trainer, and he sort of just went the other way. And I was sitting there shattered. But a bloke who was always incredibly good to me was Alan Bell.
Yep.
I was spoken about before, and Belly came up with a stats sheet. He said, Matthew Johns, I think it was 25 minutes, 23 tackles.
Right.
And said, good job.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.